Energy Manager live stream. So I actually have been playing for a bit, for over a half an hour, almost an hour tonight. I forgot to do the live stream. I accidentally did a regular video recording. So tonight's video is going to be a gameplay video that will come out sometime later. But I'm going to finish up some of the things that are going on. Number one, I got some oil rigs in a half an hour going to be arriving into port. And I've got to refuel. When I logged in tonight, none of these were fueled because the fuel was too expensive. However, tonight, just now, the fuel is now very cheap. $1.23 for coal and $1.97 for oil. I did increase my capacity for oil using points because it takes a half an hour to refuel. It just takes too long. So I had to do it. Hopefully that half an hour is going to be down to 15 minutes. You can see the high prices I had to deal with. I'll show you the next time around. So it took 5 days to finish up my drilling on my 2 drilling ships. Watch when it draws a graph. See how high the fuel price was? And then finally it went down. So I'm lucky I'm able to get it. So when you are drilling for oil, you can either sell it or you can transfer it. You don't want to hold it because if you hold it, it's just going to delay you drilling for more oil. So what you're going to do is you're going to transfer it if the price is too low. And if the price is high, you're going to sell it because you want that to sell it at a high price. So you can see I've got a long way to go to refuel. This bar that's going across is not based on your total capacity. It's based on only the plants that are offline. So this is based on 10 power plants. And they kind of hold a lot. So it takes a while to refuel. You don't have to refuel all the way. You can do it partially and get it going. Obviously, if you refuel more, they will run more. And they will fill up your storage units and you'll make more money. You do want to make sure that the storage units have a high enough capacity for your power plants. If your storage units are too small, you will be generating power that will be lost. Like you could lose 50% or 90% or 25% of your power just because your storage unit can't handle all the electricity coming in. You're going to deal with that when you have less money and you can't afford the big storage units, but eventually you're going to fix that problem. So what you do is you click on the storage unit and you look at input and charge power. And if the number is more than like 12%, then there's a problem. Got a long way to go. I'm not even a quarter of the way refueled. Over here, you click to the right to fill the maximum amount, but over here you don't have to do that. See, it says 17%. I could click right here. As long as the number where it says coal holding goes down to 0, that means you loaded up all your fuel. It's just one of those weird things about the interface. See, mine goes up to 100 kilogram. Sure. Sorry, 100,000. And I am paying for it. I'm pretty sure I had 154 million. It looks like my money's going down. I'm going to be spending perhaps 10 or 20 million on fuel. Got a long way to go. I wish it were easier. The interface is a little bit hard to click. I'm going to see if the touch screen works. Oh yeah, it did. So that I did with the touch screen. That was done with the touch screen also. Not even halfway done. I'm nowhere near. It says 26%. So I'm a quarter of the way done. The coal gets done faster. You really want to buy coal plants because they're just easier to refuel. I mean, you refuel 5 times faster with coal over oil. So I highly advise you, if you have to make a choice, pick the coal plant. Don't worry about emissions. It's going to have a small impact on the game. Emissions are expensive. One of the most expensive things in the game is the CO2 quotas. And you do want to get them cheap. You want to get them under $10 or 15 or less. Only buy at 20 if it's kind of an emergency. I would rather just sit and not play for a day or two than buy CO2 quotas at a high price. I once had like 100 million and I bought the CO2 quotas at a high price and it used up all my money, and that was it. And it's like, why generate all that power if you're going to lose everything? It was a net, there was no net gain. It might have even been a loss. So at least I'm up to 35%. I might leave my alliance because I didn't get the credit for joining an alliance. And I need the points. So there's a chance that it might happen. I've already spent around 9 million on fuel. I'm going to check one of these. We're going to go to detail. Oh, we're going to go to transfer fuel. See, he's got very little. I'm going to check another one. And he's only got 99. It doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't refuel all of them equally. I have no idea the way it's done. But I don't think it's doing a little bit in each plant. I think it might be loading up some of the plants with a large supply. I have no idea. If you're refueling all the way, it's not going to matter. It only matters if you partially refuel. Sometimes I don't refuel all the way. I already restarted the solar plants. So here's the situation with the solar. It is a few hours in the morning right now, and I went and restarted my solar, 2 plants, and only one of them started. They were both on generating electricity, but only one was showing up as being received at the storage unit. So the other one, I had to turn it on and off and on and off probably 3 or 4 times before it started being received at the storage unit. So there's still a problem with the solar power. Don't put any money into it right now because it's buggy and it's not operating properly. If you get the largest capacity power plants, they run on coal. So there might be the possibility that you're not going to use oil anymore. So remember that when you do your research, my advice when you research is to prioritize coal. I'm going to put this down in my forum. Which is over here. It's at cheapbooks.cc. It's kind of an important tip. So I'm going to make a section for fuel tips. Prioritize research for coal plants instead of oil plants. The largest plants are coal. They are easier to refuel. They generate more power and more income. And as you grow, you will likely have mostly coal plants and possibly no oil plants. The largest plants are coal. Largest fossil fuel plants are coal. Coal and oil are bought in the same price range from $1 to coal is 5 times easier to refuel because of the holding capacity. They have to do that because of the large plants. You can transfer oil from a drilling ship to your power plants. You can sell oil from your drilling ships, but they have low profitability and a long break-even point. Gas power plants are more efficient than oil plants. Okay, so I'm going to put this in bold. And to see these tips, you go to cheapbooks.cc and then go to video games, business management, energy manager, and you can see all the different things that I'm working on. For example, this is going to be a future guide that I was working on. I thought I was live streaming, but it was just a recording. So I will get back to the game. Still got a ways to go to refuel. Well, at least I'm at the halfway point. I asked the developers if they would give me points so that I could do videos on hydrogen and on nuclear, but they didn't respond to me. So unfortunately, I did a video on hydrogen without owning it, just from reading what I could. And there's going to be some surprises with hydrogen. It doesn't work the same as electricity. And nuclear, I don't think I'm ever going to have those power plants. So, and I haven't done a video on it yet. I'm probably going to have to do it without being able to play it. I started at 154. I'm down 14 million for fuel right now. I do plan on live streaming every night. I'm going to be giving tips. I'm going to be working on the forum to do the guide. Be playing lots of different games. Be nice if the viewership were a little bit higher, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that except for wait another year for more people to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to check the live chat. There's nobody here, no messages. So keep on working. I do have a store now that sells t-shirts and other items, and it's mostly for my book website, which is cheapbooks.com. But I'm going to be putting some items eventually for other video games. I'm going to make obviously one that's airline related and other games, other transit games. I play a lot of transit games. Getting a lot closer. So I'm up to 18 million in purchases for fuel. And it doesn't bother me now because I got a lot of cash. But if you only have a small amount of money, it's a big deal. I would like to add that I started at negative 3 million today. So I sold around 160 million in electricity today when I logged in. And at least half of the plants were offline because I didn't refuel them the last time I played for whatever reason. There comes a point where I just stop playing. If it gets too late at night, I stop playing. You always think, oh, it's almost done. It's going to be done soon. Got a long way to go. Probably going to be another 5 minutes. You see how it says that there's some holding? that means that it's refueled. So I'm not going to have to refuel coal anymore. It's going to be just oil. So now I'm going to be working on oil twice as fast. So that is around 21 million. No, yeah, 21 million in purchases for fuel. If you don't know what to buy, you want to upgrade your storage units to larger sizes. So you're going to go find your smaller storage units. And obviously your smaller power plants. Says 94%, so I'm guessing I have to do it at least 2 more times. Nope. I have to be more than that. Hopefully this will be the last one. Okay, so the drill ships are going to arrive soon. I'm going to bring everything online. And then what I do is I usually keep this open so I can see when they're done. And I'm going to top this up, check the CO2. Oh, it's at 20. That's actually pretty good. $160 million. I'm going to have to sit on it. Okay, drill ships got how much time left? 13 minutes left. Okay, so I am going to go to, this is Facebook. This is what the Energy Manager group looks like. So you're going to go to Facebook and you're going to go to the search bar where it says search Facebook and type in Energy Manager. Statement to investors: we would like to inform you that Orascom has filled all cabinets with required inventory, currently waiting for an appropriate time to make a sale based on future price movements. So they store their electricity in cabinets, I suppose. And this guy has hydrogen. And this person looks like he's just repeating that. And this is the same person. What's he got over here? This is his stock value. So his is at $80. I'm going to check my stock value. You know, I have, oh, there it is. Okay. The stock is on the lower right. Mine's at 824. So mine is large. Obviously, I've been playing for like 3 months now. It's the same guy. Same guy, it looks like. The biggest mistake most colleagues make. So people say that it's a mistake to buy the small ship. and that you should buy the bigger ship. I don't care. It's just a game. So I bought the small ones. Bought the best one but it takes 2 days to find and refine. I have yet to sell my first load. The highest price I've seen is $539 at next 16 million. I was in the low couple millions. And you get 33 million from a fully charged hydrogen storage, and it takes 2 hours, and it takes him 2 days to make half the money. That's why oil drilling is not profitable. That oil is not used to fuel oil plants. I don't know why he's saying that. I got 3 big ones and 1 smaller one. It's a very hit and miss with finding oil. Very poor on the value you get back for what you spend for it. I guess I'm going to delete this post. There's no option to just remove it, so I have to do the report and ban. Please help me. I can't buy more than 50 devices. How do I buy more? There's 2 ways to do it. One is you sell one of your existing plants. It has to be a power plant, which is wind, fossil, solar, nuclear, or it's one of those 4. Doesn't include drilling. That's separate. Or you have to research an additional plant, but it's very expensive. It's like 60 million to research to increase by 1 power plant. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying that you're going to wait a little bit. Is there a way to support startups? He's talking about the fact that he's a new player. No daily gifts, generators out of power, limited development. That's how it starts out. It starts out slow. Once you get your first big plant, the 75 megawatt, you're going to start making serious money. When you got the small power plants, you're just not going to. Someone wants to make some money, buy some shares. Went from 20 to 580 in 16 days. I'm buying. I hope you make a lot of money. There are many stocks with the same name. This is Mark M.A. I seem to remember this where he has many stocks. It'll say like Mark PH, Mark US. I think he's playing with many different accounts or something. My current production, he's got 3, looks like 3 power plants, or it could be 1. Maybe this is 1 power plant, and it looks like there's 1 storage unit behind the power plant. I'm really not sure. How did you get 1,500 points? Bank card. This is a player that I've seen before. These are all hydrogen in the middle, and the other power plants, the nuclear plants, going around it in the Boston area. Doesn't have the cross-grid discharging. I guess you go to... Where is hydrogen? You got to go to the exchange, and then you go to hydrogen, and it will give you the value. See, the value goes up and down, and you're going to sell it at a high amount, obviously, and you're going to need the silos in order to store hydrogen. So might be an issue with the hydrogen if you don't have the points to pay for the silos. I'm an admin of the league. How to remove low active league members. The co-founder is not online for 3 days. He wants more active players. I don't think you should remove someone just because they haven't been active for 3 days. That's a little silly. And the alliances only have 10 people. I do think that's a little small. I think the alliances should be bigger than 10 people. In World of Tanks, they have like 100 people, and I think it should be more like 500 because not everybody plays every day. Some people only play on the weekends. I'm going through hydrogen. Do you think I'm following the right path? Notice that the hydrogen has an H in it. And you put the power plant into the hydrogen storage just like you would do for electricity. But you're not selling electricity, you're selling hydrogen. It's generating hydrogen. Here we got another map. This looks like England, or Great Britain, I should say. The gas is more fuel efficient. The emissions are better with the gas. So that's going to help you with your CO2. If you had to choose between the two, maybe you want to go with the gas, with the lower emissions, because it's a pain with the CO2. And I complain, I told them, the prices for CO2 is too high. How do I get my drilling rig back? He's probably stuck because he ran out of oil. You have to buy some oil. If you don't have oil, your ship doesn't sail. I bought a silo. It's now 5,000. He says it cannot be increased. That's kind of important. I'm going to put it in the tips for hydrogen. Players report that you can only buy one hydrogen silo to store 5,000 units. Hydrogen prices fluctuate and is better for income depending on which country you are playing in. Some countries have better electricity prices and some have better hydrogen prices. Filling hydrogen works the same as filling electricity into a storage unit. Hydrogen storage units are denoted with an H. Players report that hydrogen in general is more profitable than electricity. You do not get cross-grid sales with hydrogen. Hydrogen is only a storage unit. All power plants can charge into hydrogen storage, gravity storage, or chemical electricity storage. And then obviously later on, I will be putting more information about hydrogen. I don't have hydrogen yet. So I think my boats are going to be, oh, I guess they still got a little bit more time. So you're going to get to see the process for selling or transferring fuel. So one thing you can do if the price is high for the CO2 is just sell a little bit, you know, bring the number down a little bit just to delay. What I'm going to do, if the price isn't good, I'm just going to stop playing until I get a better price. Check it once in a while. Okay, so over here we got a ship that is ready to sell. I'm going to go into details. See, it's got the drill history. You go to fuel, then you click on sell. I am going to make a screen grab of this and I'm going to post it in my forum. Because it's very important. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Gotta save the image. Okay, so I am going to go to drilling. Really want to do it step by step. Choose the port. Choose the drilling rig. That will be a future, I mean, I'm going to do it literally in about 5 minutes. Perform a scan. Perform a scan for oil deposits. Drill for oil. Return to port, which I already did, and then I'm going to post the image for selling fuel. It is sell fuel drilling ships. Okay. I am going to, got a second vessel at port, and you can see the total is 1040. It says over here 1040. BBL, I'm guessing, is barrels. The market value is too low. And to be honest, I don't want to wait. You drag the scroll bar to the right, and it won't let me transfer because obviously my power plants are full. So I am going to I'm going to hold it, or maybe I won't. I'm going to have to refuel something just to I want to grab this image for the forum. This is oil, sell oil, drag, I'll call it the refuel bar. So that is going to go over here. I'm going to do an attachment. To sell or transfer oil, drag the scroll bar to the right and click transfer or sell. If the transfer button is ghosted out, your oil holding is at maximum capacity. I'm sorry if I forgot to switch between the windows, and I want to make a change to this. This better not screw up, because sometimes it screws up if you try to edit. Just put space in there. Okay, so you know what? For the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to sell it, which means I'm not going to make a lot of money. Shows up in the income. I am going to put this in the forum. So people can see what it looks like. When you sell oil, it will the transaction will appear in your finances report. And that's what it looks like. You can see I sold oil, 1.9 million in income. Okay, so these ships, they sold the oil. I guess it sells it instantly. I'm going to do a route. I'm going to do one for Thunberg Dam. And the other one is also going to Thunberg Dam, because this is just too far away. When I get more boats, you see you can change the speed. So I'm going to hit the depart button. It's going to take an hour to get there. They're going to be listed over here. And I want to put this information in the forum. This is oil vessel route. So that's going to go over here. There it is. Choose an oil rig where your ship will operate. Distant rigs require more travel time. Adjust the speed of the vessel if you wish. I don't remember if adjusting the speed reduces the fuel consumption. If the 259 kilogram goes down, I don't remember. We're going to have to do the scan later. It's going to take an hour and 15 minutes to arrive. I'll do the scan probably tomorrow. See, we've got some over here that are ready to run. I'm going to do them through here. And I'm going to check my fuel because I just fueled up. You know, these guys are all filled up. They're going to be done in 10 minutes. So the smart thing to do is going to be to wait. Otherwise, they're not going to generate overnight. So I'm going to wait the 10 minutes for that to happen. And I'm going to get new pricing on CO2. Just so you know, you might wonder, when does it increase your CO2? See the emissions? It increases it when you sell electricity. So if you go over here and click one of these buttons to sell, it's a short time later, maybe a minute or two later, your emissions are going to go up. It doesn't happen immediately. That's an important tip. So obviously, I'm going to put it in the forum. Under tips. I'm going to do a bunch of CO2 tips. CO2 tips. Your emissions increase a short time, a few minutes after selling electricity from your storage units. I'm going to put discharging. Try to buy CO2 quotas under $15. You can use all of your income and earnings on CO2 quotas and get a net loss if the CO2 quotas are $20 or more. I'm not going to do the calculations because I really don't care. If you are close to the 100 G per kilowatt hour, you can do a small purchase of CO2 quotas to postpone until you can get a better deal. I'm going to do partial. The lowest price I have seen for CO2 quotas is $5. If CO2 quotas are cheap, such as under $10, and you have emissions, I recommend you sell your entire inventory of energy at the best price and use it to buy cheap CO2 quotas. Gas power plants produce less emissions than oil power plants and therefore require fewer CO2 quotas. A better strategy is to buy gas power plants instead of oil power plants, because it is easier to buy cheap fuel as opposed to cheap CO2 quotas. So oil and gas is technically the same. It's just, you just buy oil. This is a CO2 tips, not fuel tips. I'm going to go into the fuel tips and I'm going to add the gas oil. There is no separate commodity for gas. It is combined with oil. Gas power plants use the oil commodity in game. I've got some power plants that are straight across. They're really good. No history. That's a 75. I mean, I bought that a long time ago. No history. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. The wear's at 97%. Okay, so I'm going to do an entry for wear and maintenance. I apologize, I forgot to switch the screen over. So I am going to save the image. I'm going to go over here. Just going to put the image. To be honest, I've seen them at 100% and they still seem to work. So as far as I know, they don't shut off or become disabled if the wear is high. I have seen messages about the wear being high, but I've seen the plant's still running, you know. No production history. That's too bad. That's got an hour. All these are ready to go online. I like to just go to production and hit them all. Got one left. I'm sure you already know this. The red is the fossil fuel plants and the green is either wind power or solar power. Minute and a half. I'm going to wait before I comment on this because I'm really not sure if the plant's shut down if the wear gets to 100. And I'm sure you also know this, you can't do any transactions in the last minute. Oh, so this is interesting. You see how it says there's a current price and I have a certain amount in holding? That might actually be from power plants, that I might be generating some of this material, this commodity, which is uranium, and I have it in holding. I can't sell it, but I'll be able to use it when I get power plants. Okay, anything good here? The price of oil went up, price of coal went up. CO2's at 64. So I'm going to have to deal with that later. This is going to be done in 6 seconds. And I'm just going to start it up. I think that's going to be it for this live stream. It's been an hour. I'm going to check to see if there's any messages in the chat. No messages. Okay, so that's it for today. I might start up another game like Airline Manager 4. So, don't forget to check out the forums, which is cheapbooks.cc. Go to video games, business management, energy manager. Post any questions. I am checking this kind of once in a while because I'm working on it. And there's the Facebook group, which is Energy Manager. We got 374 members. I am the operator of the group. This is what it looks like. And it is actively posting. People are posting every day. And I do have a group for Train Manager and for all the other games. Train Manager, Airline Manager 4, Shipping Manager, and I'm actively working on it in the near future. Okay, and last of all, I do own cheapbooks.com, which is a search engine for searching for books and textbooks. If you want to save money, or if you have trouble finding a book, this is the place